News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. There's your closing bell for this Tuesday on Wall Street, where stocks jumped, nearly wiping out yesterday's losses. The dollar recovered somewhat from yesterday's lows. Short-term Treasury yields climbed. We bring you the closing numbers each day here at Bloomberg. The S&P 500 gained 130 points. NASDAQ up 430 points. And the Dow gained 1,017 points. The 10-year Treasury yield at 4.39% and the 2-year yield at 3.82%. Tesla's first quarter earnings missed estimates. The company saying that Trump's trade war has adverse impacts on Tesla's global supply chain. Tesla also omitted a return to growth forecast from its earnings report. While the company did close today up 4.6%, shares are now falling in the post-market, down about 0.5%. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent told a closed-door investor summit the tariff standoff with China is unsustainable, and he expects the situation to de-escalate. Sources at the event hosted by J.P. Morgan say Bessent added that negotiations haven't started, but a deal is possible. Bloomberg's Kaylee Lines.
Someone has to be the first to pick up the phone, and the Trump administration would like it to be Beijing. But Bloomberg reported as recently as last week that China has a number of things it's looking for first, including the designation of a point person to lead any talks for more respectable language being used by Trump and others.
The White House says the president is now setting the stage for a potential deal with China. President Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu discussed trade and Iran in a phone call today, with Trump saying that they are, quote, on the same side of every issue. Netanyahu visited Trump at the White House 2 weeks ago to seek relief from higher tariffs on Israel. Minneapolis Fed President Neil Kashkari says it is the Fed's job to ensure tariffs don't cause ongoing inflation. And he says confidence has taken a hit.
The last 6 weeks or last 2 months has been the sharpest reduction in confidence in the 10 years that I've been at the Fed, except for March of 2020 when COVID hit. I mean, we talked to a lot of businesses, big and small, all across our region, and it was remarkable how quickly they got concerned.
Kashkari told the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Global Summit that tariffs will likely be at least somewhat inflationary, but it's too soon to judge the impact on interest rates. International Monetary Fund head Kristalina Georgieva warns that the chances of global recession will rise if uncertainty over a U.S.-led trade war continues to drag.
If we have this cloud of uncertainty coming lower and lower, making it difficult for the business community and for households to take decisions, we could have a self-inflicted injury that I guarantee you we would regret.
Kristalina Georgieva speaking with Bloomberg's Lisa Abramowitz on the sidelines of the fund's spring meetings in Washington, hosted alongside the World Bank. The IMF earlier today released its updated World Economic Outlook, cutting its global growth forecast to 2.8% this year. Former Treasury Secretary Lawrence Summers says the Trump administration's moves to downsize the IRS could incentivize non-compliance. People might skirt paying their taxes, potentially costing the federal government a lot of lost revenue.
I'd be surprised if we're not on a path to sacrificing more than $1 trillion of revenue over the next decade because of this misguided, wanton attack on the IRS.
Bloomberg contributor Larry Summers speaking with Wall Street Week host David Weston. A divided Supreme Court has signaled it will back public school parents seeking to opt out of classroom lessons that incorporate LGBTQ-friendly books, as the justices heard a case that could further expand religious rights. Attorney Eric Baxter told the court it is a required part of the curriculum.
Teachers are required to use the books. The board suggested they be used 5 times before the end of the year. The Sherwood School for Pride Month said that they were going to read 1 book each day. Superintendent Hazel said that the books must be used as part of the instruction.
The cases involve religious freedom arguments, including the potential creation of publicly funded religious charter schools. Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced a sweeping overhaul of the State Department, vowing to cut programs and close offices. The reorganization will downgrade the office overseeing democracy and human rights. It will close offices responsible for women's issues, global health security, and diversity diversity and inclusion. 700 positions will be eliminated. 137 offices will be closed or consolidated. 3 federal prosecutors have resigned over demands from the Justice Department that they express regret and confess wrongdoing in the corruption case against New York Mayor Eric Adams. Those prosecutors refused. Their resignations came after the Adams case was permanently dismissed. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. This is Bloomberg.